Yeah.
Live?
Yeah. I believe we're live. There we go.
All
Okay,
right.
we're good. We're good. So anyways, I was talking about color.
Nice.
The color of the beer was black. Or is black. It still is. It didn't change. The head was like a coffee brown, I'd say. It was like a pretty nice actually color. And then it dissipated pretty quickly for me. And then I'm going down this little journal thing I have, so it gives us cool things to talk about. The clarity is clear, and the oh well, we know the presentation because we can look at the can. But yeah, and then we talked about the taste and the smell. So that's kind of what this has. It also has like the feel. To me, it's like lightly carbonated, pretty smooth in terms of it doesn't have like a heavy bite or anything like that. And it does linger a little, but not as much as some other stouts for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think at least with this beer, it's very bold. But at the same time, it's not like displeasing. So a lot of times, like very bold flavors, especially in stouts, tend to be off-putting for some people. But I think in this case, it's actually kind of its strong point. So it's very roasty, like Alex said. There's a little bit of like that earthiness that like I think comes from the Sumatran coffee, and then it's just like overall it feels like a stout, but not. It's not trying to do anything too special. So I would say a lot of stouts tend to add a bunch of flavors and try and, wow you with like, wow, this tastes like raspberries, or this tastes like pistachios, or it tastes like something just came out of a monkey's butt. And then
The
we,
schnozberries
Yeah.
taste like schnozberries.
exactly.
It's like
This
the
is more
same
just
trap
like,
a lot of IPAs fall into.
yeah, well, this one is more along the lines of you get coffee, malt, roast, and that's like it.
It's a true
It's your
simple
basic
stout.
stout coffee, oatmeal stout flavors.
I agree. I actually
Yeah.
so I was smelling it again and this could just be my batch or my beer, but it does have a slight smell slash taste at times of soy sauciness, which
Yeah. I was gonna
we've
bring that up.
talked about this a lot before, and so I googled it just now. So I have a today I learned with Alec again randomly. What it potentially might be is this is actually a byproduct of yeast dying in the bottle and can or during fermentation, and it can create this soy saucy taste and smell. And that can either be because it was fermented at too cool of a temperature or too hot of a temperature, or it's just stored incorrectly. So a lot of different things can cause this to happen. But since it's, I guess, like, it can happen to even the best beers, I
Yeah.
think. So,
Happens a lot in barrel aged stouts.
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually gonna bring that up too because I was sort of feeling like it was just mine because had kept it in my fridge for a couple weeks. So I was just kind of assumed that it was probably just because it was sitting there for a little bit. But yeah, I didn't know that it was a pretty common thing. I know we've had a couple other beers on here that we've sort of mentioned that soy saucy flavor, and it is it happens. It's just like I feel like in this it's not too strong. It just kind of comes in like random waves.
yeah. and
There's
it's
that
not
beer that
super
Alec had at
displeasing.
his place
Oh,
that smelled
yeah.
like dog food and cheese,
And Parmesan cheese.
and Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, and then it tasted pretty good,
it-
though.
Yeah, it didn't taste like that. Though.
It didn't taste anything like that, but the scent was very off-putting. Like a new drinker to stouts would be like, no,
Like,
I'm
no,
not,
no, no,
not
no, no,
drinking
no,
no.
that. No, trust me, it tastes. Just plug your nose and take a swig, and then open the nose. Yeah,
That was a
But-
very chocolatey
yeah,
beer.
that one was barrel aged, but the soy sauce isn't super displeasing. It's not like
No.
overpowering anything, so it's good. And I mean, mine might be old too, because honestly, the place by me, I think restocked while everything was closed. So it could have been sitting on a warm room shelf at 100 degrees every day for a couple weeks. So who knows?
Who knows?
Who
Right.
knows?
Well, again, that's our somewhat review of the Modern Times Black House Coffee Oatmeal Stout. We'll get your ratings in just a second, but before we do that, we have the beer that I'm drinking. So the Shadows of Tomorrow McKellar Limited Edition or Limited Series with a Resident Culture. Alec, you would really like this beer because it is what I think Guinness like aspires to be, or like what people think like Guinness should taste like is like what this beer is. So it is a black lager style. And you know how Guinness has like sort of that watered down taste and it's like very like light, whereas, you know, a lot of the stouts, like the stout that you're drinking, is like more full bodied. This is definitely like on the Guinness side. But it tastes like a better version of Guinness, at least to me. Heavy with like the vanilla notes, and then just like super mellow mouthfeel, super good drinkability. I believe it's like 5%. Yeah, 5% here, but just overall a really drinkable, better version of Guinness. At least that's how I kind of interpret it. And I've had it a couple times before because I got a 4-pack of this. But the first time I drank it, that's like immediately what I thought. Just to show you, got a little bit of a head on there still, but super pitch black, just like yours. I'll take another swig here.
What was this one called again? The Shadows of Tomorrow?
Shadows of Tomorrow. It is MF Doom inspired, if you could tell from the can art.
Cool.
But yeah, you taste it and it's like it kind of hits you in like the sides of your tongue because it's a little bit malty, but not like super overpowered. None of the flavors are too like overt. The strongest you get is like kind of that burnt toast sort of flavor, but finishes nice with like vanilla and like super super light, super mellow, like I said. So I think this is a beer that you guys would enjoy, and it's kind of like a little bit of a different style because I wouldn't call this a stout. It's, you know, like it says, a black lager. The only other black lager I've had was from Automatic Brewing. They're like the folks who run like Blind Lady Ale House, Tiger, a couple of other restaurants in San Diego. But they have a black lager that is also very similar to this. So
If you like that one,
yeah.
I don't know how to say it. The the Brazilian black lager. It's made
Jingu,
by
I think is how it's called.
something like that. That one's really good. I actually just picked up a 6-pack today. The first time I had it was Fogo de Chao. It's also a really good black lager. If you're in,
That's the only black lager I've had, I think.
yeah.
I feel like it's becoming really popular now. I think Bell's
is.
just
So
released a
good.
black lager. Mm-hmm.
I think people for a long time were scared of like the market share that maybe Guinness had on like this style of beer. Although Guinness like markets itself as a stout, right?
Yeah.
I
think
wouldn't.
so.
I don't know if I consider it this after like drinking this style of beer, because this style of beer reminds me of Guinness more than a stout would remind me of what Guinness is.
It's a dark Irish dry stout.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's got
Label it.
it's got two of the same main ingredients, right? Roasted malt.
Mm-hmm.
Like the blackness from a black lager comes from like how roasted that malt is. So
Yep.
that's like going to be like a main factor in both. So that's why
Exactly.
like I wouldn't say they're dissimilar.
Yeah. But yeah, I think overall this is a really good beer. I don't know if y'all will be able to get it because like I said, it's limited series. I think they were getting rid of their last batch when I was ordering it, because I just checked before we started, and can't even order it on their website anymore. Fortunate. But if this quarantine stuff ever ends, guys, I am keeping one beer of all the beers that I've ordered through quarantine, and so we can do like a big sampler if
They still are good.
Everyone bring your
if
little
they
cups.
are if they are still good. That is definitely a thing.
Who knows?
Most of
what
the
this
beers, yeah. So I'll give my rating of this. I'm gonna give this a 4.25. I think super good, very drinkable for a beer that I would not necessarily think of ordering right off the bat or going to. Super pleasantly surprised with this, and happy to try another black lager, because I think it's, like Mark said, it's a newer, or I don't think it's a newer style, but it's a style that's like making a popular upswing, or however you want to call it. So 4.25 for this.
Nice
You can get
bird.
it. try to get it, but might be difficult in the times that we're experiencing. So I'll open it up to you, gentlemen. Let's start with you, Alec. What will you rate your Modern Times beer?
I really like this beer. I think it has good flavors. It's very simple, and it just kind of tastes like a coffee stout, no frills, like Rolando was saying. So, and I would definitely buy it again. I actually, after drinking it, I've had this before, and I liked it then too. I just forgot I had it until I finished it. And so I think I'll agree, a different beer, but I'm gonna give the same rating of 4.25 for me. I think it's a solid pickup.
Mark, what about you?
Yeah, I think as soon as I drank it, and I was kind of thinking I'd probably give it like a 4, but I think after like actually thinking about like the flavors, because when I first had it, yeah, I was like, just kind of like, hey, it's really good. After like thinking about the flavors and after hearing you guys talk, yeah, I think I'll give this a 4.25 as well. It's pretty solid beer. It's I don't know, kind of wasn't expecting it to be this good. I kind of was just as my oven. It likes to sing these songs. So I was kind of just expecting this to just be like a random like a standard stout. I just kind of expected it to just be like whatever, like it was it's a decent beer. Like haven't been too disappointed with a lot of Modern Times stuff. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this. I might pick this up again.
Oh.
I have a 4-pack, so I'm good to go.
It does sound very umai. And with that, Rolando, are you gonna be consistent? Are you stick with the 4.25s? Or are you gonna switch it up a bit?
Oh no, I'm gonna switch it up a bit. I actually really like this beer. I am a big fan of Modern Times and their actual coffee, and I can see that they pay attention to like the blend they're putting in here, and like the flavors they're coming in, and like putting it together with this. And I mean, I did say it's very like it feels like a standard oatmeal coffee stout, but everything kind of just blends well together. So I'll give this a 4.5.
Yahoo!
Nice.
Very, very good.
Our super exact rating system.
Yeah, great, perfect, no flaws rating system for all beers. Yeah. Well, very good. So let's enjoy these. Keep sipping on them while we jump into our news. First, a little bit of news here. So Japan's first Black-owned studio should be on every fan's radar. It's called Dart Shitagio. Anyone want to help me with that? Did I get close?
Wait.
Dart. This was how it was spelled in the article.
Dart Stagio.
Stagio. I mean, yeah, it seems right.
Go with it. Roll with it.
It's Dart Stagio.
So the three co-founders hope to infuse American sensibilities in with Japanese anime, right? Anthony Gramulgia. Man, these names and these studios are throwing me off here, but of CBR.com. So the founders of the studio, I think two of the three of them are of African American descent or African descent. And they worked on other major projects, things like One Piece, Bleach, to name a few. So be on the lookout for shows coming out from Dart Shitagio. Man, I just totally butchered that. Nobody asked for this next piece of news, but Shaman King manga gets a brand new TV anime for next April, and that was announced last Friday by ANN's Egan Liu.
I was so tempted to hum the opening song for this, but I don't want to get us a DMCA strike.
Yep,
Yeah,
no
don't do that. But if anyone's unfamiliar with Shaman King, it first debuted back in Shonen Jump in 1998, ending its run back in 2004. So probably a show or a series that most people had lost track of, and here it is again in 2021 comeback. So
Did you guys ever finish that series? Did you guys-
I don't
did
think so,
not.
but the opening song, I know the opening song. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't remember.
Yeah, I used to love that show.
Fuck.
I for one am actually really excited about this. I loved that show, and I feel like it needs a good adaptation to finally, hopefully, finish it all. Because A, because it was awesome, but B, because I didn't know what the hell was going on at the end of the manga. Like the art style was just so complex. I really had no idea what was happening. So hopefully they can make sense of it and make it good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We got
Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're just like, let's just throw a bunch of crap on screen.
Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe.
So in more virtual con news, Otakon has announced a virtual convention. So scheduled for August 1st, writes Anand Andrea Hazara. Luckily, it is not the same day as all the other cons that seem to be going on. So there's that. But Otacorp has also released a statement saying that all passes this year will be transferable to 2021. So if you are an owner of a pass to the con for this year, it will transfer over, which is nice. It seems like most cons and things are doing that, which is good. More announcements on panels and hosts in the coming weeks on the Otakon website. So be sure to check that out if you are interested in attending virtually. Next bit of news here: Hiro Mashima's latest work, Eden Zero, has been confirmed for an anime adaptation. Is this one that we called? Did one of us call this happening? We've been pretty good about that in the past. No, Team Martyr shaking his head no there. So, the series is an epic space fantasy that is currently on its 9th volume. Do we know anything about this show? I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, it's essentially just fairy tale in space. It looks exactly like fairy tale. I mean, Happy's in it again. The main character kind of looks like Lucy. The main dude looks different than Natsu, but I mean, like he is the same person. I read like 20 chapters, and it was, power of friendship wins the day.
I'm looking at the art, and it looks like the main guy is grabbing the character that looks like Lucy's
I'm
boob.
gonna pull it up.
Yeah, it's more like etchy shenanigans. Type of thing.
Yeah,
It's Hiro Mashima, like, he's just gonna have those kind of themes. I feel like everything after Rave was kind of all the same. So,
so we got the image up on this stream if you want to take a look at that. Very fairy tale inspired, or just fairy tale. In some more exciting news, Promised Neverland, the manga has officially ended. I think we announced that it was coming to an end a couple weeks ago, but it is officially over. The 20th volume and final volume of the season will be made available in October, and there will be a special edition art book and fan book that will also be available in December. Kind of on the same topic, but a little bit in a weird place. I don't know, again, who asked for this, but Amazon has announced they will be working on a live action version of the series. So interesting choice there. Rodney Rothman and Megan Malloy, who were the director and scriptwriter for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, will be working on that project. So
Interesting.
kind of exciting. Spider-Man Spider-Verse is very popular and done extremely well, so I would imagine this would be the same, but kind of a strange concept to do live action, especially I don't know, kid actors for me are like totally hit or miss. I don't know if you guys have seen, and this is going totally off topic, if you've seen the new It series, or like based on the Stephen King novel. Basically, the show or the movie and the book takes place in like 2 parts: the past, where they're all kids, and in the future. And the kid acting was done like very well, similar to Stranger Things, where the kid actors did, I feel like, extremely well. But for this, I don't know. They have like a big range of kids in Promised Neverland, from like really young to like getting to the ages of the kids from Stranger Things. So we'll see how it goes.
I feel like I was going to bring up Stranger Things as like a kind of similarity. There's about the same amount of main characters in that as there is in Promised Neverland. As long as like the main characters,
Sure.
Emma,
Ray
and Norman, as long as they're portrayed very well, then
and Phil.
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
okay.
forget
You can't
Galaxy
forget Galaxy
Brain,
Brain,
yeah.
Phil.
No, but
That's
I get what you guys are saying now. I almost feel like this would be kind of cool to develop like a spin-off series for, even
Yeah.
if you were to include some sort of adults or something, maybe based on like the establishing the farm or something. I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know
like
how the series has gone or something.
like a prologue. Maybe
Sort of, yeah. I feel like that would be really cool.
maybe get Isabella's backstory.
Something like
Or
that.
maybe we can see what happened before the infantile amnesia. That
It's
very important.
It would look like
it's just,
it would just look like just covering the camera in just black.
it's just Ray in the womb, just like
blurry.
remembering everything.
just knowing what's happening. I'm in a womb.
He's like-
water sounds. Just it's just like.
He's like
I'm
speaking
in a
to the
womb.
camera. I'm gonna remember all this shit.
I've
writing
never
it- writing
learned
it down in my
language,
notes.
but I know I'm in a womb.
My gosh.
I
learn
know I'm an
language.
unborn fetus.
I mean, as long as there's less Seattle high school just emo
Are you referring to Death Note?
maybe.
Never seen it.
Well, you haven't seen the anime or the live action Netflix interpretation, so
No.
Yeah, you should start with the live action.
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah, that
and
way-
then
that way-
totally
yeah.
faithful. Totally faithful.
I'll
That way
do
he doesn't want to watch the anime at all.
I'll do that. I'll be sure to do that.
Like this
That'll
sucks.
make him be like, this was really bad, like, but people are saying it's good. It's got to be a reason why people say it's good,
No,
and then he'll want to like finish the whole anime.
no.
That's
I'll just be
perfect.
like, no,
it's
this
the
sucks.
perfect gotcha.
Boat times. Haha.
Boat times. All right, that wraps it up for our news this week. We'll be on the lookout for that Amazon series for sure. At least I will. Sounds interesting.
Sounds cool.
With that, let's open it up to our rant of the week. Chica, play us in.
よよ早速スタートだよ
I felt like I put this on here last week, but I wasn't able to attend, so I kept it on for this week. I feel that like this is a show that we were talking about, like watching a bad show and like memeing on it, and this would be like the perfect show for that, and so that's why I kind of put it here. It has a stupid long name, so you know it's going to be good. My mental choices are completely interfering with my school romantic comedy, and so. Let me spell out the basics of this show for you. Essentially, there's this god that chooses.
We're spelling. He said we're spelling, so I'm just going through my ABCs.
Hey, don't get us a DMCAA strike by saying
Oh,
that.
that's right. That's right. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Is it 100 years
So
old?
don't do that.
Who knows?
Who knows? When was the alphabet invented?
Oh God.
Oh no. What have we
So-
what has this devolved into?
So what this series, there's this god that chooses this kid, and essentially the kid then has to choose everything that happens, and it puts him into like ridiculous situations. So the show will go on, and eventually these choices will pop up, and the god goes like Erabe, and then you have to choose A, do this really, really embarrassing thing, or B, do this even more embarrassing thing. And so he has to pick it, or like he dies.
It shows a thing on the screen, like it shows.
Yeah,
us
it's
the
it's like
question and his
it's like a virtual novel where you like have choices, and like you have to pick like one of the choices, and that like guides the rest of the show for that week.
How
And
did
so
I
you're
know
doing that.
you're gonna select this.
This show is so good. Like it's absolutely ridiculous, and it like makes no sense, and it is just like out of this world. We can't show it, but I wanted to show this scene. They're like it's like this shower scene, and it's like at the end of the episode after the credits, and it's just like the most ridiculous thing that I think I've ever seen in an anime. So this is a strong recommendation for a show if you would like to laugh and not take itself seriously, and it is just like outrageous. So again, my mental choices are completely interfering with my school romantic comedy. The one good thing about the show that it does have going for it is actually the art style is actually pretty good. So
I feel like I might have read. Was this a manga or is it a manga?
I have no idea.
I think it was based
I
off
feel
a
like it
light
may have-
novel.
Oh, is it? Okay. I do remember reading a manga that was like this guy had choices like he was in a visual novel, but I mean I'm sure there's like a bajillion of those out there.
It's like Data Live is like that.
Yeah,
Except
yeah,
he's
yeah.
actually just dating like a visual novel.
Well, you've seen the shows. Is there anything that I left out that you feel is important to add?
All I
Other
remember,
than this show sucks.
all I remember is it's like Data Live, honestly. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's pretty
the
similar.
character that has the white hair that's basically like the exact same as the white haired character in Data Live. Just
I think
the
her name is Chocolate.
no, not the blonde one, but like the white hair.
Oh, with no emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like that, and then I remember the
chocolate.
Arabic. And then yes, like
Hey, Mocha.
there's a countdown for his
Chocolat.
choices, and then he
Oh,
does the whole
chocolat.
yeah chocolat.
Mocha.
And it's like funny. I wouldn't call it a great show, but it is meme worthy, I would say.
It's pretty meme worthy. I'll see if I can find that scene and I'll share it with our Discord. So another reason to
The boys and the
to
girls
get into
and
the
the
get into
others.
the
With the
Discord.
people.
and the everybody's,
With the people.
the peoples.
That's right.
People's Discord.
Rolando, it looks like you have a recommendation, so I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, it's not an anime, but I did start reading Oshinoko, which is the new manga collaboration between Akasaka Aka and Yokoyari Mengo. So Akasaka Aka is the mangaka for Kaguya, and so they're doing the story for Oshinoko, and then Yokoyari Mengo is doing the art, and they're the mangaka for Kuzuno Honkai or Scum's Wish. So I've read the first couple of chapters, and I can definitely get the Kaguya writing style in here, like the comedic timings and like the kind of writing is very, very much the same. And it's very odd. I don't want to spoil the premise. Like it's definitely
I think
something you should read the first chapter at least. So if you're not familiar with what an oshi is like it's like your stan. It's your favorite idol, like who you support. And so Oshinoko is like my favorite's child is essentially the way or the title. So I'll leave it at that and not spoil anything. But Mark, you're gonna.
Yeah, I know what series you're talking about, and I did read the first chapter. It's interesting. I feel like I forgot about it, but I might add it to my list and continue reading it.
He forgot
because yeah, it was really interesting. I mean, no, it wasn't bad. It was just like I kind of was just
Different.
like, what?
Yeah. Especially just like 'cause in the middle of the first chapter, you're like, wait, like this
Yeah,
totally is just
got a
like
little
out
confused.
of left field. Like this is like people wouldn't be okay with this, like especially in the entertainment and idol industry. Yeah. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I'll continue reading it. I needed like a new series that I need to read.
Yep.
Cool. Mark, Alec, any rants or recommendations this week?
Nah, I want to keep ranting about Tower of God. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I'm just gonna keep. I wrote down like a bunch of notes and things that were missing from the anime, but like I mean, I'll get back to that when the series finishes. I think that'll be a good wrap up.
Yeah.
You know,
sounds
things
good.
missed.
Cool. Speaking of ranting about shows, we have our current airing shows, and so yesterday, Utate. Sounds like you guys waited to talk about episode 10 and 11, which is this week's episode. So I appreciate that. Although as I'm reading my notes, they make less and less sense as the week has gone by because the episode is less fresh in my mind. So maybe we'll talk about episode 10 and then we'll move into more in-depth discussion for episode 11. But I think the main thing that I take out of episode 10 is kind of what I have here on this line is Shinako comes up with every excuse not to fall in love. She's walking home in the sunset and she's like just talking to herself. It's like, you know, this excuse and that excuse. And, she's trying to get us to feel sorry for her, and it's just like, at this point, I don't care. And so it's like it's supposed to be like this touching scene where it's like you feel bad for her because she's like stuck in like her old way of thinking and then like trying to evolve. And I'm just like, I care so little about your character. I don't know. Do you guys feel the same way? Am I the only one who's feeling this? Shinako bad? What do you guys think?
Shinako sucks.
I mean, I'm not gonna
I don't like her character.
I'm not gonna say that she is a bad character. I just think that as a human being, she's not
She sucks.
very likable.
Yeah, she's not a likable person. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say that she's a terrible character. I just feel like she's making like really poor decisions, and she's being what's the word here? Like, she's thinking too much about certain situations, but also causing problems because she's thinking too much.
And not thinking
And then
enough.
yes, and then not thinking enough, and therefore not saying things that just makes situations even worse. And it's, I don't know, it's really aggravating. She's just a very aggravating character.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I think I'd be interested to get like a female's perspective on watching this show, because I know, at least for me, I really empathize with Rikuo, because you kind of put yourself in his shoes as a guy and imagine a girl doing this to you, and it's like you want to be nice and you want to like try to push the relationship forward, and then you get like all this bullshit that she's giving you. It's just like, I feel really bad for him. It's like you're getting strung along, played, and it's
Guys
just
are
like,
already dense enough, right?
yeah, and then you add all this like psychological stuff into it, and it's just like, tell me yes or no, like give me like a concrete answer, and she's like she can't or won't do this, and it's like, it's frustrating for me as a male viewer. So I think I'd be interested in hearing like a female perspective on her character.
Definitely,
and like what they think about it. So if you are listening and you are a female and you would like to comment on that, please let us know, because I cannot put myself in that kind of situation. But I don't know. Some of the other things, like they have like that really awkward phone call where it's like, weren't you gonna call me? But why didn't you call me? And it's just like this old like high school romance bullshit that I'm like super over.
They're both
They didn't even know each other
inexperienced.
in high school.
Yeah.
They're both inexperienced, so like I kind of get that one, because it's like they're not really sure. Well, like, I was expecting a call from you. Well, no, I was expecting a call from you. It's like,
Somebody pick up the phone.
Someone just pick up the phone.
Fuck.
And, yeah.
No,
It's not that
and then
hard.
I think the last thing, and then we'll get into this week's episode. But he finally calls Shinako. He's like, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it. But I can't read your fucking mind.
I don't think he said it that way.
He did not say it that way. That is how I projected onto him. The weird thing about that kind of scene though was it felt like he finally got like a little bit like of closure to it, and like they're gonna like start to date or whatever. But at the same time, he's like thinking in the back of his mind, like, did I like screw over Haru? Did I mess that up? Is that the route that I should be pursuing? That's how I kind of interpreted the scene. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
I don't know.
Mark, you look like you have something you want to say.
It's just, like I said, it's aggravating because, like you said, he just doesn't know how Shinako is like feeling. Like, yeah, she's like kind of giving him hints like that, and like acting in a way where they're sort of in like progressing in a relationship. But then she isn't willing to tell Ro about the relationship. She's uncomfortable with confronting Haru about the relationship.
Bro.
She tells Ro that he's not there when he is, and like asks him to leave. It's very aggravating because it's like, why don't you just tell this guy whether or not you want to be in a relationship with him?
Yeah,
and not
she's stringing him
keep
along.
Sort of
is what
stringing him
leads
along.
Both of them on. It's, I mean, this is skipping ahead, but it's what Haru said, where it's like you just held on to him for yourself this whole time, or whatever she said. She's doing the same thing with him, but
Yeah, it's a little weird
But
when
he
it comes
sucks,
to
so I
Ro
don't
because
She definitely doesn't
Ro
view
sucks.
Ro in like a
right,
in
and
a
he
romantic
sort of
way.
views himself like he's already in a relationship with
And
her,
like
which
he's
is
an
sort
adult.
of kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
So
an
that in
entitled
itself is
asshole.
weird.
Like
But
the way he acts,
still,
I don't like it.
yeah, but like the way that she interacts with him is also like not. It's very odd.
No,
Yeah.
It's not
she
healthy.
can't be like confrontational, and it's hurting her and other people because she's not just saying no, I don't have those feelings for you. She's like, oh well, you're like a brother, and he's like, well, maybe I could be more, and she doesn't ever just go.
She doesn't
no,
put
you
it off.
can't."
She doesn't. Yeah.
She just sort of goes.
She's not. She's leaving a lot of
Okay.
a lot of gray area
Yeah.
into everything, and so everything is like very muddy. No one knows exactly what the hell she's thinking,
Not even her.
and it's very frustrating because it's like we get her saying like, I wish you were more assertive to
Like Ro.
to Rikuo. And he's been doing that since they started seeing each other, and then she keeps pushing him away.
Yeah,
And then she goes
yeah.
like, I feel bad for doing it. And it's just like, then why did you, like, you're asking for this stuff, and then like when he does it, you just go no, and then he's like super fucking confused.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
there
like,
was
what
a-
is he supposed to think?
Yeah, there was a line in this episode where like her friend is talking to her and she says, "You don't have to force yourself to do anything you don't want to," which I feel
It's
like
true.
was a very yes, it's true, absolutely. But it was a weird sort of advice to give her because she's not even doing anything, right? Like she's not like she's stringing Rikuo along and she's kind
And
of
she also in the
leading
same
Rose relationship to the weird
conversation,
place.
the same conversation, she also says like if you feel bad about doing this, don't date him.
yeah.
Like she essentially says that, and then she like thinks about it. It's like, oh, maybe that's right. And it's like it's I think she even mentions like 3 months and we haven't done anything.
I think that's the
That's
thing,
what she was
though, 'cause
referring
she's
to.
the one that's because he's trying to like go in for a kiss or like be more in a physical
hug, I guess.
relationship with her, and she's the one that's
hold her hand.
that's pushing him away from that. So
Yeah.
she like I guess it's more of her talking to her friend being like, I'm doing this kind of stuff and I feel bad about it, and then she's like, well, I don't think you should force yourself to do something like that if you're not comfortable with it, which is 100% true. But at the same
Yeah, yeah.
time, why are you going out with him if you're just gonna
Right. It's like
Gonna-
you have
gonna
to
do
do something or say
Like,
something.
And
at
she
least
also
let him
says
know
it,
your
though,
intentions?
at the end where she's
Right.
just like, I mean, fuck it, let him like wait if you want to let him wait, because in the
Yeah.
end it comes down to him. If he
Yeah.
can't wait and it's something he needs, then he needs to leave her, and he won't do that. But I think that's the point she got across with that last statement, where she's like, whatever, fuck it, like if you don't want to do it,
Like-
don't do it, make him wait. Like if he's gonna wait, he'll wait. So
At least she recognizes that she's doing this to him, and even tells him like, it's not you, it's me, like the kind of deal. But
Yeah.
she has some serious issues.
Yet again,
going
yeah, it's
on.
frustrating. It's
And it's
aggravating.
just like, okay, Miss Queen of Mixed Messages, you got to be more assertive. Oh, you're being too assertive for me. Sorry, you can just.
sorry, I don't want that.
yeah,
I don't want that.
It just seems like she just has like no regards for people's feelings, or she's just not understanding them.
don't think she
Like, this whole
understands.
episode was just
I don't think she even
misinterpreting
understands
people's
herself.
feelings. That too.
But back onto the topic of Ro, what a little
Sucks.
punk, Mr. Self-entitled. Oh, you're not gonna cook for me anymore.
Yeah, that pissed me off. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna be there all the time. What, you're not cooking for me now? No,
How dare you?
I shouldn't be cooking for you already. Like, oh my god,
Gosh.
this show
Yeah.
sucks. I hate it. Like, watching it physically hurts me. Like, I groan at these people. I'm just like, you guys are so annoying. All of you. Like, I can relate with them sometimes, and then sometimes like you're just stupid. Like,
Yeah. This is, and I feel like we'll touch on this, like, the finale, but this is a show that has started out being like very relatable, and it's got like, really heartfelt relationships, and like you can see yourself being in their situations. It's very quickly like devolved into like just random drama and like
all it
poor
is.
misinterpretation
TV
between
drama.
characters. TV drama. Yeah.
It's like I don't
Liz,
even really like Haru at this point because I just don't care about any of it. Like even for her, there's I read the comments and everyone's like, "Oh, poor Haru, poor Haru." It's like Haru's leading her fucking self on.
She
Like,
puts herself into
Yeah.
this situation. Like I can't
give a
really
shit
say
about
I
it.
feel sorry for her because she knows she knows exactly how Rikuo feels, and she also knows that Shinako's doing exactly what she's doing. So
Yeah.
there-
Like she recognizes it, and I don't feel sorry for her when at the start Riku was like, "This may not go anywhere." Like he was honest about his feelings. He was never
Yeah.
like, "Maybe I like you, maybe I don't." He's always been very honest and always pushed her away. So I don't feel like they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Riku is a dick to her." No,
It sucks, yeah,
Yeah.
but
She just needs
yeah.
to walk away. He's straightforward with it.
it's
whereas
not.
What's her face is not straightforward at all.
Yeah.
Shinako. There we go.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's
that's my
nice,
feelings.
but
That's my rant of the day.
yeah, yeah. Can we all just agree that milk hall girl Kyoko, she just
Kyoko-san,
deserves,
yeah.
she deserves better.
She's trying to
Or
make coffee for everything.
Milk
Yeah.
Hall, yeah.
Just making delicious
Rip.
bagels.
Rip Milk Hall. I think that's the true victim in this show. But
Right, small
I think we
business.
got one more episode of this. So guys, let's suffer through one more together. Hopefully we
I'm gonna
get
stop right now.
some sort of resolution.
I don't think it's that bad.
I'm gonna stop right
No,
now.
I
like
think
the
I
show.
still
I can
enjoy the
choose.
show. It's just that the characters are unbearable at the moment.
I can choose what's right for me. I'm stopping right now. It's last episode,
Okay.
second to last episode.
We're gonna talk about it next week.
It's fine. You tell me what happened.
Okay.
Wouldn't be the
so
first
going
time.
from a show that we're mildly frustrated with, we jump into Kaguya season 2. I felt like this was a really strong episode. We got Papa Shirogane, who is the god. I think the best explanation of this episode I saw in meme form, where it shows like Shirogane's dad, and he's like, it wasn't the tug of war, but it was talking about Shirogane's dad. It's like Shirogane knowing that if knowing like he won't ever have to do anything the rest of his life if his son marries into the Kaguya family. It has him like with like his shades on drinking beer, and it's just like it's so good. But man, just the interactions between like I was laughing out loud when he's talking with Kaguya about Miyuki. It is just like
Oh yeah, what's so
This
great
is-
about him?
this this is like the key. Everyone can see you in the mirror, Liz. You're distracting everybody. You want this? What was I saying? Just you know, his this is like classic Kaguya like comedy that like I super enjoyed in season 1, and like this is like the pinnacle of it. This is like exactly what you want out of the show, which was like this episode. You have like the ridiculousness of like Chika again falling into the trap of like, this is gonna be so easy, this dance, and then like getting trapped into teaching him, and then like her getting all jealous over Kaguya teaching him, and like the back and forth.
The two schools
and
of
then-
thought too on the teaching.
Right, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden
that easy.
Shirogane just like gets it, and that's like totally like what would happen in this show. You get like the sports festival, and like his dad like just being absolutely ridiculous. You even get you get a little bit of yeah, he's like just chilling there and drinking beer. Like, what the hell are you doing? And then you get like a little bit of interaction with like Kay and like what she thinks of everybody, and like all this like nonsense that's going on in their family. Just a really good episode. So the question I had for you two, since you have read it, we have a couple episodes left, so we getting a cliffhanger? Is it ending in a reasonable spot? Do you expect a season 3 based on where we're gonna end? Any thoughts there?
There's no cliffhanger. I mean, we do, I guess if you call the end of not sure. The end of Ishigami's backstory arc a cliffhanger, I don't really see that. It's more of just like you find out about him and why he's second best girl to Hayasaka. But I don't know, Ishigami is just like a really likable character, and like you find out why in this arc.
Yep.
But it's not.
And
I wouldn't say it's a cliffhanger or anything.
No.
And I failed to even mention that Ishigami, because you have some kind of like good character development with him and Ino, in terms of like how they relate to each other, but also like Ishigami's backstory and kind of what happened in middle school and what he's doing to kind of maybe atone for that or grow as a person. I definitely agree with you though. I feel like Ishigami's like he was such a like he wasn't like a minor character in the first season, but he was kind of like played second fiddle to a lot of like the gags and stuff that were going on. But it's just like he's consistently like a good character, and you like consistently like want to know more about him. And he's super relatable, which like a really strong character. So definitely agree there.
Yeah, he didn't stand out in the first season. I think that was the big thing, and it's just kind of how his character is, really.
Yeah.
Technically, in the
point,
first season too, the whole arc where he's studying, and Kaguya is helping him study, that didn't happen until this arc.
Right. Huh. Right.
So
Switch it
like
up a little bit,
you get a shit ton of Ishigami development in this arc, and we're getting even more currently in the manga. So I feel like season 3 is almost like a certainty, because they've been going at a pace where right now we're gonna end this season at the halfway point. So of what's currently available. So I think there's a high likelihood of there being a season 3, and it's a popular both show and manga in Japan right now. So I feel like a season 3 is gonna happen.
It's gotta happen.
I feel like
I hope so.
It's just gotta
I
happen.
hope so too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. Cool. Couple more episodes of Kaguya. I'm gonna be sad when it's gone. I feel like we nitpick the show a lot, but super good.
Just read the manga. It's so good.
Great.
Oh my gosh.
Next is a show that I am not watching, so I'll open it up to you, gents. It is Namiyo Kitakure, so I will turn it over to you. Gonna get into it.
You guys watch
Not
the latest? No, Mark.
Yeah. I watched it.
What did you think about that radio drama?
It's just like par for the show. I mean, it's so ridiculous that it's so enjoyable, though. I mean, like you just get like all these like wacky and just weird little cut-ins and stuff, and I feel like the comedy is still like on point. What episode was this? Like
11, I think.
10? 11? Yeah, it's like episode 11. Like it's still making me like laugh out loud for
You're
just like
lolling?
how ridiculous it is. Yeah,
He's
like a
lolling.
straight lolling.
I was bowing.
Lamowing in IRL. This episode was pretty funny. I think it's also really funny because it's like we're like worked on audio and stuff, so you see the behind the scenes and like the parody of it sort of, and then taking it to the extreme in this episode was great.
Yeah. What do you think about the whole slide whistle sound effect?
I had no idea that it was so that you can use it in so many ways, I guess. But like I don't know. It was just a weird little cutting that I was totally not expecting, nor I had no idea. I always thought it was just a joke.
Yeah, that's what I felt as well, because like it was at least
exactly.
in America, it was used in cartoons like back in the day to kind of like like if you watch Looney Tunes and that kind of stuff. It was used to show, like someone's falling, or like, just the kind of like lead up to like dynamite exploding, that kind of thing. And so I guess like it could just be, cultural tempering, where maybe this was a more common sound effect for supernatural stuff in Japan. I don't know if that's the answer or not. And whether that is just like a sort of like learned temperance. Like if you think about a dinosaur now, like you just think about Jurassic Park, right? So like, is that just something that like, people associate with supernatural in Japan? I'm not sure.
Which
But-
dinosaur?
What?
The dinosaur.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
But like it is interesting to see, they're putting on like so much. They're doing so much into the radio dramas themselves. and it's actually
Yeah.
kind of cool and fun to watch them do it in
Which
real
is
time.
not a common thing
Yeah.
even nowadays. It's like I know there's like a couple podcasts that are currently doing like radio dramas, but they're like pretty big, like large scale productions. Or I mean, even if they're low budget, then it's like it's kind of obvious that it's low budget, because like you don't get like SFX artists or people who are doing this as their craft. You get people who are just like reading like radio plays, and even then it's not like a full scale like drama, like where you have like different voices or different actors and you have like sound effects and stuff, sort of like this is. And then like to see that happen in like a joke format for like it's like a 20-minute show, or on Namio, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Especially the Japanese take on it too, which is also just like I think just that like absurdity or like that it's different to us is also making it even funnier.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Cool. I think I say this every week, but it surprises me that how we like previewed this show and like read it like sounded like super uninteresting, and then you guys kind of kept with it. It's like one of the better shows that kind of took place this season, so it's interesting to me.
Mm.
But our last kind of subject here, for those who are listening who are unfamiliar, we are rewatching Clannad on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're interested in doing that, jump into our Discord, which actually has a new link. So if you want to join the Discord, it's a lot easier. It's just animeondraft.com/Discord. So type that in and we'll get you into the wonderful world of Anime on Draft Discord. But we are, like I said, rewatching Clannad episodes 13 and 14 for this week. Next week, we will do 15 and 16. Give you a little bit of a recap, but we're kind of encouraging folks to, if you want to know what's going on, to make sure that you're watching with us. But we basically find out the horrible past of Kotomi, plane crash with her parents, and the burning of the documents and all that fun stuff. So if you're interested in that, like I said, make sure you join the Discord. But
those super important documents.
Yeah, very, very important teddy bear document. So Mark, Rolando, and I have seen this before. So this question is for you, Alec. We're about halfway through the first season of this. And so overall, is this show what you expected? Are you enjoying the show? What are your overall thoughts?
Definitely not what I expected. It's always been mentioned like Clannad, the feels. I have no feels so far. If I'm gonna be honest and not mince any words, I'm a little bored. Just to be entirely honest, especially the first arc with Fuko. It was not fun. This second arc was a little better, but it's still even kind of just ridiculous. And then the documents that got burned, I was just like, just face palming. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. So, but you guys said that's normal. So I'm kind of waiting for the show to pick up in the, next season? Next second?
In After Story? Yeah, After Story is definitely where you get the feels.
All right, well, I'm waiting for that because that's what I expected, and no, not so far.
Yeah, we're in the world
Nothing.
building slice of life part of it.
I think, Rolando, you kind of put it best. Like, these key shows always start out similar to this, where you are super slice of lifey and like super like back when it aired, like this is how slice of life was done, and it's like very stereotypical bad.
This was a stereotypical KyoAni show back in the day too, like just like Full Metal Panic Fumofu and like that kind of stuff.
So, like I said, or I guess anything else to add from anybody? I think we're wrapping up Kotomi, and we'll move on to the next one.
Woo.
Any other thoughts? Cool.
No.
So again, join the Discord, animeondraft.com/Discord. We watch Clannad on Thursdays, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Join the Discord, has all the information there for you, so check it out.
Sick.
I think that kind of wraps it up for this week, though. Any other closing comments or anything anybody else wanted to add before we close out? think we're good here. So drop some info for y'all. Our website, check it out, animeondraft.com. You can listen to old versions of the podcast there and available for you. Also, like I keep mentioning, join the Discord. The new and easier link, animeondraft.com/Discord. So make sure you join there. You want to have a conversation with us, like maybe you have a perspective on yesterday that you'd like to share with us, do it at Anime on Draft on Twitter. Hit us up there. Want to see what we're drinking? We have on Instagram, Anime on Draft Podcast. So it is Anime on Draft Podcast on Instagram. So check that out. Also, anywhere podcast services are available, we would encourage you to use the website, animeondraft.com. But if you go to Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, basically anywhere podcasts are available, you should be able to find us. Just search Anime on Draft. Also, the VODs are available on not only Twitch, but YouTube as well. Speaking of Twitch, watch us live. Currently, usually do it about Mondays, 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. Sometimes Tuesdays, but join the Discord, look for the Twitter for any updates on schedule changes. And if you enjoy it, make sure you follow us, twitch.tv/animeondraft. You don't have a Twitter and like to reach out to us, we do have an email, contact@animeondraft.com. So make sure you send us an email if you're interested in doing that. And finally, as always, we ask that anywhere you view us, if you wouldn't mind leaving us a 5-star rating or any sort of rating, it lets kind of people know and us know how we're doing, and it helps our visibility as a show. I think that's it. Don't think I missed anything there. Wraps up another episode of Anime on Draft. Again, a reminder, this week we had our McKellar and Resident Culture Shadows of Tomorrow, a black lager, and you all were drinking the Modern Times, there it is, Black House Coffee Oatmeal Stout. So if either of those sounded good, make sure you check them out. With that, I think that wraps us up for this week. Looking forward to the finale of yesterday for next week. Maybe we can rant a little bit more about that.
Probably.
Yep.
But that's it. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.